Greetings, dear ones. I am Cryon of Magnetic Service. The theme is love, but it might as well be healing. Well, that is what is going on. Can you really separate the two? So often, the love is the healing. So often, the healing cannot occur without the love. I would like to talk about healing. I want to talk about the human body. I want to do some things my partner will not be comfortable with. Dear ones, the human body is designed to balance. Designed to balance. The human body is designed to rejuvenate, to live for a very long time. The human body is designed to live far longer than any of you are currently living. And yet there is disease. And there are so many things that present themselves to you. And you know what I mean. And so here you are in this stage of evolution on the planet, dealing with lifespans that are shorter but getting longer than they used to be, with medical technology, and with increased consciousness. One of the things that so many have asked is so difficult to explain. With all of the processes you have to help you with your healing, to love yourself, hundreds of them, with all of that which is being presented even this weekend, why is it that some get healed and some do not? You can always point to the proof that the human body can do almost anything when you look at that which is the spontaneous remission. Unexplainable, miraculous, so amazing that when it occurs in certain places, it is a miracle. No one thinks, well, this is what the human can actually do. How do you trigger that? You know, there are actually three basic reasons for that some get healed and some do not. Even before I start with anything else, I'll just tell you, and they're easy, and all of them actually, except one, have been taught this weekend. The first, I'll say, is you're too educated. And it takes a long time to de-educate you. And that is a process in itself. Because you are a product of what you were taught is possible or doable. And that sticks. That's your education. That's how you come in. And you have a disease, perhaps let's call it disease X. And you're just a little too smart to drop all of the things that you've been told that would cause fear, anxiety, and completely block anything you would do to heal yourself. You're just a little too smart. The second one is you're so quick to own it, never understanding that this subconscious of yours doesn't know the difference between actual reality and fallacy. That subconscious of yours goes along with your belief, what you were told or what you were taught, and what you tell it. That subconscious is so powerful. And you walk around, you go to the diagnosis, and the doctor says, well, you've got disease X. And the first thing you do is go home and tell everybody, I've got disease X. You just owned it. Are you aware of that? You've just told your subconscious you have it. You got to be careful with this. Light worker, you're so powerful. You got to be careful. You should come home and say, I have been diagnosed with disease X. Never say out of your mouth, I have this, because your subconscious will grant it for you. Oh, she has disease X. Bingo, you got it. Even if you try to then get rid of it, your subconscious heard you say you had it. But if you approach it in a different way, and you remove yourself from ownership of it, then you have a chance with the processing, even that has been giving you, and the miracles that you've been given even this weekend. The third one, the hardest one, we may discuss it another time. Why do people go through all of these things, even light workers, and then they pass? And there's this moment for all of you who have lost those like this. They've done this and they've done that, and yet we lost them. What good is anything that has been taught here? Why did they leave? And this is the third one, the hard one, master plan. It's very rare, but not as much in those who are light workers and have soul journeys that you know. It's rare to the public, but not rare to your group, that there would be those who would pass no matter what you do, so that they can come back quickly, grow up, and change the planet. Do you understand? So there is sometimes soul planning and reasoning that would keep somebody from actually healing their body. It's not that often, but you see it more than almost anyone else does. I want to talk about the big one. It's big to my partner, because in the process of his diagnosis, there were a lot of emotions, but a lot of questions that he asked me. There was anxiety for different reasons, not his health, of how certain things would appear or look, and what should he do. And this is the part that my partner doesn't want you to hear. He doesn't like to talk about himself, but I want to, just a little bit. A few months ago, he realized he was in trouble. He could not breathe. He could not walk up a stairway. He was obviously in dire trouble. He went through the steps immediately. Dear Spirit, this can be healed. I know it has something to do with the heart. I watched Marilyn Harper heal herself. I've watched the miracles. So we're going to get through this. And it got worse. Against that which he wanted to do, and he put it off, he went to the cardiologist, and the cardiologist said, you have a valve which might not even be repairable. We got to get in there and see. You got a hole in your heart, and you need a bypass. And with that diagnostic, he went home. And in the shower, he asked me, I can't do surgery. I've got a healing program. They're going to look at me and say, you're a fake. I got a healing program. Why can't I take care of this right now? And I told him. I said, if you had done what I told you to 2 years ago and checked it out when you knew something was wrong, you could have done it yourself. These things are doable. It takes work, it takes time, it takes process. But your body would start to cooperate with everything you did. The various things you heard today, you could have started 2 years ago. That's how long it probably would have taken. And then I reminded him, I said, "Do you know what your father died of?" And then he had an epiphany. And he said, "Yes, a hole in the heart." And I told him this: use your logic and use that which should appear to you as reasonable at this point in time. I said to him in the shower, I said, if you're in a traffic accident and you're really injured, they don't take you home to pray. There is a point of urgency where you can take the technology and the doctors we have supplied you to make a difference, to let you stay here on this planet. Did you ever think of that, Lee? You're not a fake if you get surgery. We'll bring you the right surgeon, and we'll also tell you how to get through it faster than anyone has ever seen before. So the decision was made to have the surgery, to do these things, knowing full well that he could have healed himself if he'd only started earlier, but he was afraid. And so he had a lesson. He's sitting there now facing something else because he didn't listen. I wonder if there's anyone here who didn't listen. Honor the little voice that says, if you have a diagnosis, if you know something in advance is wrong, start now with the things you're learning today. But there are some times when it's too late. And this was one of his times. So he went and did what he had to do, knowing that he would face the questions, how can you have a healing program and yet go to surgery? And I give the answer yet again. The doctors, the technology has all been given to keep you here if you don't listen. And that's what's happened. It goes hand in hand, dear ones, with anything that you would say is healing. What if I told you there are doctors right now who know exactly what I'm saying, and they are light workers, and they know that they are looking at the last solution because somebody didn't listen, or fixing somebody in an accident who had no chance to do anything, and knowing that they are ordained to be at the right place at the right time, in order that those would live who may not have lived before. My partner was impressed with one thing. He said, my dad died of the hole in the heart because there was not the technology. I get it today, and I will live. There's something happening here that's never ever happened in a Cryon meeting before. And you can call it what you want. There's something happening here. There has been an energy developed in this room that some of you never expected would be developed. There are so many of you right now in coherence with love. There are so many of you right now who will accept things that perhaps they would never accept before. What is about to take place may be questionable for some. All of you have free choice. But something is about to happen. Thank you for the stillness, because I want you to remain still. There is a beautiful angelic presence starting at the back of the room that is putting upon this room like a liquid light mist that is coming forward from the back. And it's going to go among you in the chairs. Be still. I would like to tell you something at this. If you cough, you don't want to hear this. And you can get over that. But I'll tell you, that's the common reaction. You don't want to hear this. There is healing that is divine, which is passing through the chairs right now, touching each one of you that allows it to happen. Like the whole room is being filled with this liquid green light that is a dispensation of healing. Oh, you've heard of this before. You may have even seen this before. You may have even experienced this before, but not in a meeting like this one. I will tell you that you, all of you together, have created a coherence to allow miracles to take place. Be still. There is allowance here for healing. There are those right now who are being touched, and you know who you are, as these angels flow through this room, coming to the front and then circling back, and they are filled with joy. And they're saying, it's about time you learned how to do this. Be still. There are those who have come for this moment. Be still. There are those who have come to be touched by this, and you knew it was coming, and it brought you here. And you will leave differently than you came. Be still. And know this, that in this process, it's not necessarily instantaneous. You'll know it by the tests that you will receive. You're going to know it by how you feel. You might know it by the lack of pain. You might know it from the difference you feel in who you are and what you can do. Dear ones, this is as real as it gets. Be still. Touching those who needed to be touched. Those who have an allowance, who are saying right now, there's some you may even hold up your hand, say, I'm the one. I'm the one, touch me, I'm the one. That's why I came, I'm the one, dear angel. And feel that green liquid mist pour through you and talk to your cells, where your cells will gasp in amazement and go, oh, it's about time. Yes. Stay for a moment. Dear ones, we come down from this, and I tell you, this was nothing that even I, as Cryon, foresaw in a Cryon channel. It was interrupting a story. But I'll be interrupted any time for this. We've had some miracles here. You may not know about them right now, but you will. Not everyone gets healed. I give you that. Were you too educated to get it tonight? Today? Do you own it, or will you let it go? All of these things play into the strength of the healing you received. I say it again. Go from this place differently than you came. I am Cryon in love with humanity. And so it is.